Alright, we're gonna try this again. I can see a whole lot better over here. Pretty sure you guys can see a lot better over here too. There. Alright. Back we go. So this is my longest running piece. I've been working on this. I started it at a live painting event at a brewery in 2022, I think. 2023, maybe. So several years I've been working on this one. Normally I don't take that long to work on pieces, but it's big. I started it. I didn't like where it was going. I did something different with it. I stared at it a while. There's always exciting noises in the background here. Some of my Jack Reacher shit. So what I'm painting here with the hair, as you can see, it is raised up out. Okay. Back we go. So this is a sculptural paint that I used. Careful, that's sharp. And you can, basically, it's like liquid clay that you can paint over. And the company makes it in different colors, or you can get the white and mix it up yourself. Or you can get the white and then paint over it, which is what I like to do because I don't really have the foresight yet to have projects in mind be like, oh, I need purple sculptural paint for this. I've kind of been using an organic process lately with creating, which is basically doing whatever comes to mind at the time without a plan. Instead of being like, oh, I'm going to paint an owl. We just kind of do whatever. And it's easiest using a small brush to get into these little grooves, because when I used the sculptural paint, I used it in a cake bag with a cake decorating end to give it this texture. Can you see the texture? I don't think you can see the texture. See the texture on the hair? So that's why the sculptural paint is so fun, because you can stick it in a cake bag and use any of the attachments, and it's essentially like icing. And like I said, you can mix up different colors. I knew if I stared at this long enough, I would get an idea. I'm getting some pretty good coverage up here. I'm just using an acrylic paint. This piece here is completely just for me. I've decided that I want this piece to showcase all of the different types of mediums that I have used over the years and some of my favorite ones. So that's why I'm incorporating elements of sculptural paint, regular paint, some leaf printing. We've got some stenciling on here. I just want it to be kind of like an all-encompassing piece that really is like a part of me. You know, art that is very clearly not AI. Like, I want people to, you know, they'll look at this and without a doubt know that a human being actually created this. You know, people see stuff like this and they're like, there's no doubt that it's not AI. I'm not dissing other kinds of art by any means. I'm just saying this is what I like. This is what resonates with me with art. Is the hands-on kind of stuff. Watching the paint like fill in the cracks. Just kind of getting lost in what you're doing for a second. Using your hand as a palette. Thanks everybody for popping in. I know it's early on a Tuesday. Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. It's early on a Wednesday. I don't think I have the chat on. I can't see if anybody's chatting or not. Feel free to start a chat so I can see if I can see you. If you're live. Trying really hard not to get it on the canvas and keeping it right on the paint. Let's see if I can figure out how to get the chat on here. Hold up. Yup, can't figure it out. I'm just making it all like wavy and weird to watch. Let's see, where do we want to go with this? And I know it looks like she's got kind of like a Medusa thing going on, but that's not what I was going for initially. And that's not what I'm turning it into. I actually did this sculptural part of the hair here probably a year ago. So it's taken me a year of looking at it on here and being white for me to figure out what I want to do with it. I guess that's a everybody says the trust the process moment. You know, there's a catchphrase for everything. So that's what this is. I think a huge part of being an artist is not being afraid of fucking up. Be afraid of other things, but don't be afraid of making something shitty. Don't be afraid of making something that someone's not gonna like. You should create what you want to create because it's in your head and you've got a vision and you've got a feeling about it, and if you don't do it, you feel like physically uncomfortable because it has to get out. That's what I think it's like. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Hi, hi. Whomever is tuning in, I don't have the chat on for whatever reason. I was messing with settings and I think I turned it off, so I can't see if anybody's chatting. I apologize. I started off on the other side of the porch and had to move. It was way too sunny, and with these mirror pieces, I couldn't see anything. Chirpy bird. Let's get closer, shall we? There. That bird is going off. Speaking of, is there a bluebird watching? It's still sleeping. You gotta work fast with acrylic paints, especially when you're outside, because they dry fast. Very fast. Let's get down in here. Thanks for popping in at my odd streaming time. I'm kind of doing a little test with angles and lighting and time of day and all that kind of stuff. The idea is to live stream some of this in the evening and at night. Whoa! Once I get the rest of this figured out. Since we have more daylight to work with now. All kinds of little layers in here that are pretty fun to get with this little brush. Trying to paint in the crevices to keep the texture of the paint. Hey there, y'all. Thanks for popping in. I don't have the chat on my settings, so I apologize if you're saying something. I can't see it right now. But I appreciate you checking it out. I'm on the next stage of this very long-running piece that I've been working on for a few years. I was staring at it over the past week and had a couple of ideas, so here we are. I'm painting over the sculptural paint. Now the idea would be, if I knew I had wanted this green, I would have mixed up the green to lay it on the canvas like this, but I didn't know. The sculptural paint, this white part, is from Gaffrey Art Material. As far as I know, they're about the only ones that make a high quality yet affordable sculptural paint. They do some crazy things with this sculptural paint. You should check out their Instagram. I mean, they make they pile it on. It's crazy what they do with it. I'll put the name of it down in the comments here when I'm done, so you can check it out. was worried I wouldn't have enough of this green to finish this, or to at least throw down a layer. Because if you know me, we're not done with just the green. It's only the first layer of color on this. G. It's a weird time of day to be streaming. But I'm doing it mostly for lighting practice and angle practice. Really just for myself. I'll go back and watch this later and see if this is a good side of the porch to do this on. Oh. I'm going to be wrapping up this test stream here shortly as I finish up this layer of green on her hair. Be sure to pop back in. If you subscribe, I think you get notifications and stuff. You know how to do all that if you want to. Thanks to whoever hit that like button. Down in there. Hi. Testing out some lighting here on the side porch. Kind of working on filling in this green. Crevices everywhere. Oh my goodness. used this sculptural paint with a cake icing attachment. So it created all of these crevices, which were awesome at the time, but now that I decided I wanted them green, we're having to get all the paint in there. I still think it's giving a really cool effect. I'm happy with it. This sculptural paint was fun to use. This is a really long-standing mixed media piece. It's got several layers of paint on it. I used spray paint, acrylic paint, I used stencils, leaf prints, sculptural paint, snakeskin, pieces of a mirror, an artificial flower, a little plastic baby figurine, and I've got a couple other ideas too beyond the hair, fill in the background. You can do something about the arms, and I think I'm gonna make clothes for her. So yeah, if I stay at it, I feel like I can finish this piece this year. So that is my goal. So that is one of the things that you can tune in and check out is my ongoing work on this gal, which I think it might be time to come up with a name for her. Air traffic. Get up in there. I think I'm gonna end up turning this painting upside down so I can get into the other little parts. Because it looks pretty covered, but there's a lot of little spaces in there that need some attention with the paint. It's very important to be thorough with your bottom layer, because that's really the foundation of whatever you're doing on your painting. I mean, this is obviously not the bottom layer of the painting, but it is the bottom paint layer of the hair that I'm working on, so you don't want to rush that. You want to make sure that you've got all the coverage everywhere that you want and that it looks how you want it to look. Because you never get a second chance to do the bottom layer. Bring the ruckus. Ooh, sticky, sticky. Got my hand in that. Alright. I think I'm gonna have just enough of this green paint, this particular shade, to finish this up. I knew I'd be cutting it close. Oh boy. We got a whole bunch of spots up. Looking at this angle, there's a whole lot I gotta fill in. Alright. And all of this filled in nicely. With the idea that I have, this is gonna work out really well. I'm literally just gonna have enough green paint to finish this. And this this shade. Cutting it close. Something so meditative about this.
So I'm at one of your Airbnbs on 10th Street, Wilson.
Alright. I think that's gonna do it for today. Well, for now anyway. Thanks for popping in, if you popped in, to watch me work on this ongoing piece. We're gonna try to finish this piece this year. So, catch my upcoming live streams where I'll be working on it more. Come watch it evolve with me. Because I do have some ideas, and there's a couple of things still up in the air about it, like she needs arms. Go make some art today.